In 1927, the Belgian priest Georges Lemaître was the first to propose that the universe began with the explosion of a primeval atom. His proposal came after observing the redshift in distant nebulas by astronomers to a model of the universe based on relativity. Years later, Edwin Hubble found experimental evidence to help justify Lemaître's theory. He found that distant galaxies in every direction are going away from us with speeds proportional to their distance. The Big Bang was initially suggested because it explains why distant galaxies are traveling away from us at great speeds. The theory also predicts the existence of cosmic background radiation, the glow left over from the explosion itself. The Big Bang theory received its strongest confirmation when this radiation was discovered in 1964 by Amo Penzias and Robert Wilson, who later won the Nobel Prize for this discovery. Although the Big Bang theory is widely accepted, it probably will never be proved. Consequentially, leaving a number of tough, unanswered questions. At this point, you well know that I could fill up page after page, in fact devote this whole book, to the numerous stories about our creation. But I'm not going to do that because it's not relevant to my story. What is relevant is what, if any, are the common connections between all of these stories, from all around the world. So, here's what I found. Heavenly holograms. Without a doubt in my mind, I assert to you now that we are a created species by an intelligence that is unknowable to us now and will remain so as long as we are alive. This isn't a bad thing either, because in knowing everything we'd be taking away our reason for being here in the first place, and I'll explain more of this later. There is also a question as to whether we're even alive or not, because according to certain equations outlined in the field of quantum mechanics, there is no proof for human beings. That's right, some of the smartest people in the world can't find proof we exist. With one exception, however. If they change the model to incorporate all living things, we come out as existing. With only ourselves plugged into the models, we don't. How could this be so? Well, the answer could lie in what our ancestors wrote down many thousands of years ago in ancient Sumeria, and it's one heck of a story too. They write that there was once a time when the earth was visited by an alien race from a planet in need of gold, and they came here to mine it. After a period of time, the workers of the mines rebelled and stated to their leaders, "We are not miners, we are space travelers." And they went on strike. The leaders were in a panic, and in not knowing what to do, they turned to their scientists for suggestions. The scientists then suggested that they take a life form from this earth and make it like them, so they would then have workers for the mines. They agreed upon this course of action, and man was created, the first man, the atom. They looked upon their creation, saw it was good, and decided to make more of these atoms, and before long their artificial breeders were working overtime. Now, not content with the pace of production, they then decided to make the atoms able to reproduce themselves, so they created woman, Eve. But something unexpected happened, really unexpected. None of the aliens had done their math. Let me explain. If you take a human-like animal A, combine it with an alien B, you then get A plus B equal AB. Now let's suppose that what the aliens thought of as just a human-like animal A was instead not a separate species but a part of a much larger living organism, which we'll call C, then you get ACB, which is in fact what happened. In other words, they had unknowingly created something, human beings, who were much more powerful than themselves. Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Genesis 3:22. What they, the aliens, hadn't taken into account was that the life form they implanted their DNA into was not a separate species, like those that came from their planet, but rather a part of, a cell if you like, of a much larger living organism, the Earth itself.